Okay, so here's the warm-up before your quiz. Obviously, I'm not here today, but made this video to go over the warm-up for you, so hopefully it'll answer any questions that you have. So, looking at number 1, it says to find the product of the following linear functions. So, whenever you do this, just take it 2 at a time. Just like if you were to multiply 2 times 3 times 4, you would multiply 2 times 3 to get 6, and then you would do 6 times 4 to get 24. So you're only taking it 2 at a time. You're going to do the same on the products from number 1. So, how would I multiply these two things? Foil or box, whichever way you want. So that's going to give me x squared minus 4x plus x minus 4. I'm going to combine my like terms. So there's the product of the first two. But then I also need to, now I need to do FOIL to the next degree or box with this. Okay, so I'm going to go through and distribute my 2x to each term. So I'll have 2x cubed minus 6x squared minus 8x. Okay, and then I'll have to distribute the negative 8 to each term. So I'll have negative 8x squared plus 24x plus 32. And then whenever I combine my like terms, 2x cubed minus 14x squared plus 16x plus 32. Okay, so once you get that, remember this is whenever you have one of these, there's a lot of areas to make mistakes, whether in multiplication, missing a term, messing up a sign, combining like terms, whatever. This is one of those problems that you can go in Y1, put the original problem, and Y2, put your answer, but make that line thicker so that you can see it trace over it. Okay. Questions on this? How I got anything here? Fabulous. Let's go to the next one. So the graph negative x cubed is going to look similar to this. Okay. And again, this right here, this is just the way I look at it, this is a complicated way to say something that is obvious on there. Okay. Whenever you see this, as x approaches infinity, look at that as if I follow the graph, as x goes to the right, is the y value going up or down? Down. So is y approaching infinity or negative infinity? Negative infinity. Okay. Then on the next one, as x approaches negative infinity, so for the x-axis, which direction is that, right or left? Left. So as the graph goes to the left, is y going up or down? Up. So it's approaching positive infinity. That's all it's asking. As x is going to the right, is y going up or down? As x is going to the left, is y going up or down? Okay, so just find a point on there and just follow it. As x goes to the right, okay, end up going down. So negative infinity. If it goes to the left, it's going up. So positive infinity. That's all it's saying. Okay. Next, it says to determine algebraically. Determine algebraically whether this is odd, even, or whatever. So, or whatever, or neither. So if you remember these rules that we talked about last time, If f of x equals f of negative x, that means it is what? Odd or even? Even. Okay. So I would go through there, and I would plug negative x in for x everywhere and see if I get the same original equation. If I don't, I want to check to see if it is odd. And what that means is, if this equation that I got whenever I was checking to see if it was even is the same as negative f of x, then it is what? Odd. And if neither one of those rules happen, then it's obviously neither. Okay, so let's look at this one. First, I'm going to check to see if it's even. So I'm going to do f of negative x. And so I'm going to plug negative x everywhere where an x is. Okay. Negative x to an even power, is that going to give me positive x or negative x? Let's try it. Negative x times negative x is what? Positive x, okay. Times negative x, so there's my third x. Positive x times negative x is what? Negative x. There's my fourth negative x. So negative times negative is what? Positive. Okay. Anytime you're raising a negative value, negative x, to an even power, it's always going to give you positive x. Anytime you're raising it to an odd power, it's going to give you negative x. Okay? So that's going to give me x squared. Then I have minus 4. So is this going to give me is this going to give me positive or negative x? Positive, because 2 is an even number. So does f of x equal f of negative x? Is this equation the same as this equation? So it is what? Even or odd? Even. Okay. Even though we didn't have to check for odd because we found out it was even, if you have to do this, negative f of x is pretty simple. All you do is you take the original equation and you're just going to distribute a negative into it. Okay, so that's how you would do negative f of x as opposed to f of negative x where you have to substitute negative x in for each x. Okay. Questions on any of this? Yes?
For checking for odd, how do you tell that it's like odd? You kind of just
If once you did this f of negative x, let's say that those two weren't the same, okay? So then I would have to do this, and then if this equation was the same as f of negative x, then it's odd. Okay.
So that would be why you suggest to do even first.
Even first, because you have to do this one either way. So we'll go ahead and do even. It's only one step. It's only this. And then if that's not it, you have to do odd, which if you did odd to begin with, you would have to do that anyways. So I might as well just make it easier on yourself. Any other questions on this stuff? Yes?
So the exponents in the boxes don't matter?
So the exponents in the boxes, yes they do. I'm just dumb and wrote it wrong. Thank you for catching that. Yeah.
I'm just kind of confused on how to do it. It's like making even and odd.
Okay.
Maybe I'll have to ask the question for this part. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you an equation, and then your first step is to plug in a negative x in for each one of those x's that you see. Then what you do is you simplify it all out, and you get your final equation. He gave you a few warnings in there if it's x to an even number versus x to a positive number, it gives you different answers. So then you get your answer at the very end. If it matches identically to the original, in those two red boxes, right? If that second one matches identically to the first one, it's definitely even and you don't have to keep going. But if it doesn't match identically, you're going to want to go back to that first equation. You see over on the right where he has that kind of sideways stuff? You're going to go back to the first equation, put it all in parentheses, and put a negative in front. Then you distribute that negative everywhere. And if that one on the right that has the arrow, if that one matches the other one that is on the bottom that's boxed, if those match, it's odd. If it doesn't match, they're neither.
So you always want us to start out by putting the negative values.
Yeah, and that checks for even. And if they don't match, then you do this to check for odd. Okay. Yes?
What if like the x starts out as a negative? Do you change to a positive?
You have to follow those rules. So if it shouldn't. But if it was, if you had a negative x cubed, okay, so you would go in, so then you'd have a negative, you would plug in negative x for x. Okay. So this right here is going to end up being negative x cubed, right? So what is negative times negative x? But don't worry too much about that. All right.